So what's up, guys? I hope you guys are all doing well. I was wanting to do a video on the top 5 mods I think you guys should do to your 10 gens, or really any car. You guys can replicate it onto any car, but specifically on my car, I have a 10 gen hatchback. It is the 6-speed manual, so it's a little similar to the SI, but it does have its weak points. So to start off with number 1, my biggest or my favorite mod that I've done to the car so far is the PRL Intake. So I personally have the Prl Cobra race or big bore version, and for this specific version you guys do need a tune from Honda or Ktuner. I personally have Ktuner, but the sound that this intake makes it just sounds so good. I don't have a blow off valve or anything, and with the intake you get the spool sound from the turbo, and you're also, when you let off, you hear the infamous whoosh that you would get from a blow off valve. But on these cars it's just from the intake. Some people do a blow off valve, but that's not the case with my car. But yeah, that's my most favorite mod that I've done to the car so far is definitely the intake. After I put the intake on, I just love driving the car so much more. It sounds so good. I don't think I have any clips of it. I'll definitely let you guys hear it with it in the parking lot. It probably won't be all too loud, but on the road it definitely sounds super good. And if the sun permits, I'll definitely throw a clip in there with it. So the second mod is definitely another big one. I did mention it on the first mod, which is a tuning solution. I personally have Ktuner. I think I did say that, but I have Ktuner V2. I'll go ahead and take it out for you guys. It's a little dirty, but this is the Ktuner V2. It's pretty cool. There's not all too much to it. After you buy Ktuner, you're able to install tunes. I bought mine through Fairable, and I was able to get the 1.5 stage 1.5 tune with it, and it's a really cool tune. It comes with 3 different maps, if you will, or 3 different boost levels. So map 1 is, I'm pretty sure, let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure I still have the email. Yeah, so the first map is 15 psi, the second map is 20 psi, and the third map is 24 psi. So if I'm being honest, I've never actually ran the third map. I've only ran the first and second map, since recently my clutch has been slipping. But thankfully, about a week or 2 weeks ago, I did take my car to Honda, and I did have them install the RV6 FK retrofit clutch for this car. And after it's changed, it feels a lot better. Or I guess I say it feels a lot better because before the clutch was slipping pretty bad, but it does feel pretty similar to stock. There's not much more clutch, I guess, clutch effort that you have to put out. It feels pretty similar to stock. It's just a little more springy. But yeah, the second mod that I would definitely recommend would be some tuning solution. For these cars specifically, do your research. Even though I was on Hondata on a lot of my previous cars. On this car specifically, there are some limitations with Hondata. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but just do y'all's research. At first I was on Hondata. I borrowed Hondata from my girlfriend's car, and I was looking to get the car tuned, and from my research online, Hondata definitely is not the way to go on these cars, and which is why I made the switch to Ktuner. So the third mod that I would definitely recommend is not something that's necessarily performance. I guess it helps in the handling aspect, but it would be definitely suspension. I personally am on D2 lowering springs, and I'll try to find a picture of the car, but if you guys can tell, the car is lowered a good amount on just the springs. I do love how it sits, and the car does not ride rough necessarily. It does ride a bit stiffer than stock, but it is still a comfortable ride. That's really what I was looking for, and is honestly the reason why I didn't go with coilovers. So yeah, that's what I would recommend for the third mod, is definitely some suspension in terms of lowering. So guys, for the fourth mod, definitely I love hearing the exhaust on my cars. On all of my cars, I've always changed the exhaust on them, and this car is no exception. Which if you were to come up to my car and look from the back, you'd be like, well, what are you talking about? That exhaust is stock. Which, yeah, the exhaust is stock on the car, but I do have a catless downpipe, which does sound, it didn't sound as loud as I thought it would be. The car is definitely still very quiet, and it does drone a little bit more, but I don't mind it. It's definitely not too loud. I think just because I'm getting older, I'm not into super loud cars anymore. I definitely do want to change the exhaust setup still on this car, but I'm not sure of how much I'm wanting to change it, or what exhaust I'm wanting to do to it, because the car, from what I've seen online, when you go catless and you change the cat back, it is significantly louder, which is not something I want. So for the last mod, I wanted to recommend something cheap. I feel like most of the other mods that I've recommended can be a little on the pricey side. So I guess to end it off, I would say definitely a lip or lip kit. I personally have a gritty style front lip on the car, and I love how it looks. However, in the middle it is sagging a little bit. It may be a little hard to tell, but it is sagging, and it does bother me, but it is what it is. It was only like 60 or 70 bucks, which isn't too bad. But yeah, so I wanted to do a few honorable mentions before the sun goes down. I probably have maybe 10 or 20 more minutes before the sun completely goes down. But for the first honorable mention, I would definitely recommend doing some lights. It doesn't have to be replacement headlights. I personally went with Archaic Headlights. You can definitely just change the bulbs and do LEDs. And if I'm being honest, I did that when I first got the car, and it was way brighter than this setup with the Archaic housings. yeah, as well as doing LEDs in the rear. As of right now, I only have the reverse lights LEDs. Everything else is stock for right now, and that's because I'm considering changing the taillights, but I'm not sure as of right now what I'm wanting to do. For my last honorable mention, I would definitely recommend Tint. Tint in this car, the tint on this car, for the most part, all the sides and the rear were already tinted when I got the car, and all I did was get the windshield tinted. But however, if you guys are currently rocking a fishbowl or have older tint, I would definitely recommend upgrading. On this car, I currently have all ceramic tint, and during the summer, as you guys probably know, going back to your car, getting inside, it's stupid hot, especially if you're in the Midwest like I am. I'm in Arkansas, and during the summers, the heat down here sucks. And after just doing the windshield, even with the rest of the car having ceramic tint, doing the windshield in ceramic was such a big change. When driving, you cannot really feel the heat. The change is honestly crazy. I did pay a good amount for a shop to get the windshield done, but in my opinion it is well worth the price. It protects your interior, and you're able to feel comfortable inside the car, especially if you guys don't have AC. Like in my EK hatch, that car does not have AC, and the windshield is tinted in ceramic, and so it helps a lot. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think of the video. If there's any mods that you guys would change in the list and why. But yeah, if you guys like the video, please subscribe, like, do all those cool things. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.